Kono bangumi wa goren no sponsor no teikyo de okurishimasu. Yeah.
Oh.
Inoue Toro really is the cat Meow. He's a mascot created by Sony for the PlayStation system in Japan, and then later he became the mascot for the PlayStation Network. He's a little white cat with big eyebrows, and all he wants to do is become human. Thankfully, with your help, he can learn everything there is about being human, so that when the time comes, and his wish is fulfilled, he can integrate with human society. He debuted in Doko Demo Issyo, Together Forever, for the PlayStation in 1999. A game cooked up to promote the Pocket Station add-on for the PlayStation. The Pocket Station was a memory card with built-in buttons and an LCD screen, not too dissimilar to the Dreamcast VMU, but developed exclusively for the PlayStation. Let's take a look at his first game and get an idea regarding his humble origins. Can we roll the clip, please? Ah, here's our delightful mascot now, coming home after a long day of being cute. I don't know about you, but the feng shui in here is totally off. A traffic cone? And an anatomic torso? Who decorates like that? Considering Toro really wants to be a human, maybe he's been studying up on anatomy. When you look back on older games and smile at the whimsy of the jagged edges, it's impressive just how they managed to wrangle so much soul out of the PlayStation 1's limited graphical capabilities. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this game is, though. Mostly answering questions asked by Toro, which I assume he remembers the answers to and refers to later on. It's essentially a life, no different than raising a Tamagotchi or a Chow. This is how that little Meow started his humble video game journey. A bunch of Toro's friends were also introduced in this title, such as Pierre the dog and June the rabbit. These animal characters are referred to as Pokapi, a mix of the words pocket and people, because they live inside the Pocket Station. After Doko Demo Issyo was released and was a smash hit for the PS1 in Japan, along came Konikomo Issyo, a spin-off starring an even cuter, younger Toro, named Koneko. Doko Demo Issyo was actually marketed towards young adults, so this follow-up was to get younger audiences interested in the Pocket Station. After Konikomo Issyo came Toro no Kyuujitsu, also known as Toro on Holiday. This PS2 entry was the first big game for Toro and his friends. A point-and-click video game with photo backdrops and 3D characters, looking very impressive for 2001, I might add. Dynamic shadows too, like you plopped a Toro character model in Google Maps Street View. But an overall lack of music, perhaps for added immersion in the very real environments. Though I'd have enjoyed a little ditty here and there to spice things up. In a way, this is sort of like a Toro version of Myst, just in Japanese, and therefore more or less unplayable for me. Still, it nails its atmosphere well, and I could really imagine getting into this. The vacation theme reminds me of other Japanese games, like Inaka Korashi Nan no Shima no Monogatari and Boku no Natsuyasumi, both games that feature a similar holiday and exploration theme, and both ample opportunities for future bites. Maybe one day I'll sit down with Toro on Holiday and try to brute force my way through. It really deserves some attention for sure. After this came a few spin-offs like My Picture Book and More Parties. The Picture Book game is especially interesting as it allowed you to mad-lib your own story from seemingly thousands of options, then save and share your illustrated picture book choose-your-own-adventure with friends via the PlayStation 2 memory card. Pretty snazzy. As for More Parties, that was a communication tool that allowed you to talk with other cats. I think that was actually online enabled, but I'm relying on my memory and my memory is really poor. Toro and Shooting Stars was another adventure, this time with human characters in the style of the Pocopi. It looks incredibly cute. You even get to be a girl, which is nice. Gotta be diverse and all that, right kids? Gotta be all diverse and appeal, eh? Gotta do the thing and be the thing for things. The game was released to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the series, and focused on collecting fragments of a shooting star that crashed into the mountain outside Yumasaki town. You and Toro hunt for the missing pieces, and along the way teach Toro many words and phrases. If Toro finds all the pieces of the fallen star, will he be able to become human? Who knows? I've never played it. After this, Sony ran out of ideas, so they made an excellent decision and ported Doko Demo Issyo to PSP. The new handheld allowed for seemingly unprecedented freedom. It's true that the Pocket Station had previously allowed players to take Toro everywhere, but this time they could take the actual game everywhere too. Presumably they could interact with other Toros over ad hoc, but I can't actually be bothered to check either. What, you wanted a factual show? There were some other titles. A PSP title where Toro and his friends go to school to study. A PS3 news and talk show starring Toro and his friend Kuro. And there was even a Toro world accessible in the Asia region in PlayStation Home. Anybody remember that trash fire? No? Nobody? But there was also another game. The big one. The one I wholly recommend to all of you. Toro to Mori Mori. Toro, Let's Party. Remember that little update video where I mentioned we're dropping only in Japan? Well, here's one reason why. You may or may not be aware that in Chinese and English-speaking territories, such as Hong Kong and Singapore, video games are sometimes released in English. These English releases usually never make it outside of Asia. That's right, due to some sort of Chinese voodoo magic, a Toro game actually got released in English in Asia, so finally I can appreciate it. Toro Let's Party is a mini-game compilation hidden behind a suspiciously story mode-shaped curtain. Once again, Toro aspires to be human, and to achieve his wish he has to fill a book of thank yous by doing good deeds for other folks throughout the world. Each chapter consists of a scenario, a minigame, and then the closing sequence, where Toro earns another thank you for the book. As is the case with these English releases, there are some translation errors. The situations are dumb fun too. Getting possessed by the ghost of a deceased girl cat, getting tricked by a senile grandpa fish, and Toro losing his memory after a golf injury. There's even a nice wholesome Christmas moment. Aww. It's January. I don't want to think about Christmas, it's January. Though why they felt Toro had to die in a car accident and go to heaven is beyond me. I guess they were running out of ideas. Oh gosh! Is this becoming a theme? Mamoru Can Curse had a car crash too. It's nothing to worry about, surely. I'm sure car crashes won't keep cropping up. You get to the end of the game and get all the thank yous, but Toro doesn't become a human. Kuro left so that Toro could fulfill his wish. But Toro missed Kuro so much that he uses his wish to bring Kuro back. The two decide to live together, setting up the events of the PS3 talk show Mainichi Issyo. Toro Let's Party also comes with a whole bunch of other minigames. which you can play with multiple players, and a huge gallery. This gallery, surprisingly fully translated in the Asia release, I'd have expected them to cut it out, contains information regarding all of the Toro games, and is a fitting tribute to the series' 10th anniversary at the time. Lots of rare renders and the original assets for the promotional calendars and other merchandise. The game was originally intended to come to the United States, according to Destructoid writer Topher Cantler, but I think that was a misunderstanding thanks to Silicon Era's hopeful article, pointing out that Sony Computer Entertainment Hong Kong translated quirky PS3 titles that weren't immediately picked up by Sony Computer Entertainment America. These kinds of articles got me hopeful and excited for Toro back in the day. And I was absolutely gutted when it didn't come out anywhere other than Japan and Asia. I'm not blaming these guys for being excited, but in hindsight, it feels like all they did was break my heart. I look back wistfully, but I must accept the truth. It truly is a shame that aside for a few appearances, Toro and Kuro have never had the limelight outside Japan. Their most sizable appearances were in Street Fighter Cross Tekken and PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale, where they appeared as characters. Most notably, in SFXT, Toro had the moveset of Ryu from Street Fighter, and Kuro had the moveset of Kazuya from Tekken. With both of them being very small, they can cheese an opponent pretty good, but the game doesn't allow you to play arcade mode with them. For shame. Will a Toro game ever come out here? I very much doubt it. Truly, I think Toro has had his time. He'll continue to appear in side apps for the Vita, or as cameos throughout the PlayStation's lifetime, but for game releases, I think that goose is well done. It's great news to be able to experience his last and biggest outing in English, thanks to the glory of Asia-only English releases. But it's his last. So I salute you, Toro, forgotten mascot of Sony. Keep on fighting the good meow. Never give up on your dreams. One day, you will become human. And keep thinking that until Sony takes you out the back and sends you to the pet shop in the sky.